On the 25th of May, 1982, 4 Argentine of 4 Skyhawk jets launched an extremely perilous mission over the Falkland Islands, Malvinas. These older aircraft, led by Captain Pablo Carballo, were armed with bombs and tasked with destroying the British frigates HMS Coventry and HMS Broadsword to maintain Argentine control of the islands. The pilots were aware that the 2 British ships had moved closer to shore to support ground troops, offering a critical window for the attackers to approach undetected by radar. To achieve stealth, the Skyhawks flew at the lowest possible altitude, utilizing the island's contours for cover. Meanwhile, aboard HMS Coventry, Captain David Hart Dyke and his crew were on high alert, following a warning about an Argentine sortie. When 4 contacts suddenly appeared on the radar, the captain's fears were confirmed. He immediately ordered action stations, and the powerful British Sea Dart surface-to-air missiles began to arm. As the attack commenced, the Argentinians expertly disappeared from British radar screens near Pebble Island by maintaining their extremely low altitude. This was precisely the outcome Hart Dyke had dreaded, as the Sea Dart missiles had a long minimum range, complicating close-range engagement. Hart Dyke radioed HMS Broadsword, which was equipped with the shorter-range, closer-combat Seawolf missiles. Carballo and his wingman, Lieutenant Carlos Rinke, reached 10 nautical miles, visually spotting the British ships. Despite their planes having no radar or warning systems, they plunged toward the targets at maximum speed, skimming the waves. On the Coventry, the 2 Skyhawks immediately reappeared on the radar. Confusion was compounded when a friendly British Harrier jet entered the firing zone. Despite the complex situation, the captain chose to fire the missiles, but the Argentinians' dangerously low flight, mere feet above the sea, prevented the missile system from locking onto the target. The Broadsword crew had visual contact, but the Seawolf radar detected the closely flying attackers as a single aircraft. When the single contact suddenly split into 2, the guidance system crashed. The missiles would not respond. In a last-ditch effort, the Coventry attempted to open fire with its deck guns, and sailors used personal machine guns. Carballo, feeling the closing shell splashes, ordered a change of target to the Broadsword to evade the Coventry's guns. The 2 planes released their 1,000-pound bombs. The bombs impacted the water and ricocheted upwards. One narrowly missed, but the other slammed into the side of the Broadsword, deflecting through the deck but failing to detonate, sinking harmlessly into the sea. Though dismayed, Carballo's attack was immediately followed by a second wave. First, Lieutenant Mariano Angel Velasco and Ensign Jorge Nelson Barranuevo, equipped with lighter but more reliable 250 kilograms bombs. Captain Hart Dyke ordered the Coventry to turn immediately to allow all missiles a chance to fire. The Sea Dart operators achieved a lock on Velasco and launched. However, as Velasco and his wingman dropped even lower, they vanished from the British radar, and the missile lost its track, flying harmlessly away. Meanwhile, the Broadsword was frantically attempting to reboot its missile system. Just as the radar came back online and locked the targets, the Coventry sailed directly into the line of fire, blocking the only working missile system. It was too late to maneuver. Velasco and Barranuevo were now closing on their target. On the Coventry, Hart Dyke ordered all turrets to fire. Cannons and machine guns roared, but the main gun's sights were misaligned, and the 20mm anti-air gun jammed. Sailors desperately fired rifles at the incoming jets. Velasco unleashed his A4's 20mm cannons, raking the ship's deck before releasing his payload. The bombs slammed into HMS Coventry's hull. The first 2 Argentinian bombs failed to explode upon impact, and the second jet failed to release its payload. Just as the crew began to look around in fearful confusion, the bombs detonated. 2 massive explosions rocked the Coventry. The first blast tore a huge hole beneath the bridge, destroying the computer room and sending fire raging through the operations room where Hart Dyke was working. The second hit the forward engine room, causing a catastrophic fire and knocking out all power. Captain Hart Dyke, surrounded by smoke, realized the ship was listing heavily. He found his way to the deck where he encountered a highly professional, textbook evacuation. Sailors rescued shipmates, provided aid, and prepared life rafts. Hartdyke remained on the rapidly listing hull until every man was gone, casting a final look at his command before taking the last survival raft. Thanks to the professionalism of the British crew, 170 survivors were rescued by the HMS Broadsword and helicopters. But tragically, 19 men lost their lives. All Argentine pilots successfully returned to base. Although successful, their victory did not ultimately change the course of the war.